let us proceed to the next friend that we're trying to make in volume 17. Excuse me. Alright, so we finished Jiraiya. Let's go with Nihkee now. She looks buff. Oh, this is different. What in the world is going on here? Dim lights, the din of a roaring crowd, and the smell of horribly overpriced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps even universes, there is still something deeply familiar about a sporting arena. Smash your mother honkin' face in! There's also something deeply familiar about sports fans. Blah, such a shame having seats next to the purples. They can be so crude and boorish, don't you agree? Childhood wouldn't be nearly this loud. Usually. You find yourself here attending a wrestling show, or a display of muscular theater. Display of muscular theater. I love that. That's fabulous. Anyway, this display of muscular theater, to use a troll terminology, thanks to the benevolence of one Amicia Erden. She won the tickets in a raffle and excitedly invited you to come along. This music is called Turns Out It's Like the Shoe by James Roach from the album Hiveswap Friendsim. The old name is LMAO. I still don't know if it's Nihkee or Nike. Like the shoe, not like the name Mike. Oh my god. That's fabulous information there, Heterosapiens. I appreciate that. You agreed with some reservations that you quickly expressed. She was quite disappointed, but eventually agreed not to kidnap you and keep you locked up as a living paint jar since you're buddies and all. What a sweet friend. Oh, good. I'm glad we were able to come to like a suitable arrangement that involved us not being, like, you know, kidnapped or imprisoned. That's wonderful. Alright, Bookworm, enjoy your dinner. Yeah, see you later. Take care of yourself. Thanks for coming by, and thank you for the random science fact that you dropped on us earlier. Alright. You have to admit, though, muscular theater isn't really your thing. It's as over-the-top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which makes it perfectly entertaining enough, but it's also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die, as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off on futuristic hover stretchers with injuries you're not sure they could survive. Oh gosh, you nearly got impaled there. Every match tonight is taking place within a chain link cage, spikes surrounded on both the outside and inside, and jut out occasionally from the places where the wires cross. The overall design, in addition to ensuring maximum bloodshed, seems to keep both the wrestlers inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. The current combatants are some olive blood named the Huntress and a purple blood calling himself Cull Pits. Interestingly to you, there's nothing clown-like about him at all. It's almost conspicuous how unclowny he is, if only due to the absolutely ridiculous amount of clown content you have imbibed in the presence of other purples. Hey, Wrench, how's it going? Happy Saturday. Welcome in. Cage match! They will fight to the death inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, Mania. Only on pay-per-view. Good God Almighty! As God is my witness, he's broken in half. Somebody stop the damn match. I don't know why I'm doing JR in like a peppy hair voice, but I guess it's because I can't really copy JR's actual voice. Oh well. The two fighters appear to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducks and weaves amid blindingly fast punches from the purple, slashing at him with grandiose arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with a barrage of small attacks. Every one of his punches hits hard enough to knock her down, but she always springs up before he can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet, and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the olive troll is holding back, presumably so as to avoid inciting the crowd. Thus far, you have not seen a single match in which the lower blood opponent triumphed over a higher blooded foe. I must admit, this match is a lot more tense than I was expecting. But I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really fabulous muscular theatrist performing next. Her name is Nihkee Moolah, and she hasn't ever lost a fight. Ooh, Nihkee Moolah is a muscle theatrist. That makes sense with her character design. Also, come to think of it, Nihkee Moolah sounds a lot like a wrestler name. Did they combine like Nikki Bella with Fabulous Moolah? Is that what they did there? I heard she even beat a Violet Blood once. Nihkee Moolah, huh? Now that's a name you could befriend. She must be as big a deal as Amnesia makes her out to be, because she uses her real name instead of some ridiculous made-up nonsense like John Cena or Hulk Hogan. But isn't John Cena John Cena's actual name though? I know Hulk Hogan is not Hulk Hogan's real name, but isn't John Cena actually John Cena? Yeah, I just googled it. Wikipedia says John Cena's name is John Felix Anthony Cena Jr. Born in 1977. I can't believe John Cena is 43 years old. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Can I tell you?
Hi, what? I saw that actually. All right. Oh, look, he got her. You flinch. The purple blood finally managed to get his quarry in his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging his fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch and she collapses to the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back up to her feet, and the announcer calls the match to uproarious applause from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's affection. The olive blood looks like she'll probably live, but she's got a dent in her face that probably isn't coming out. Ever. Ugh. All of a sudden you think you really need to go, get a bathroom. You mean use the snack. You mean you'll be right back. Oh, okay. Come back soon. This fight is giving me all sorts of ideas for a new painting. You quickly make a break for it, jostling your way through the stands and toward the exit of the arena. But before you make it, a voice calls out to you. Some slick-haired and slick-finned violet-blooded guy wearing a full suit with a tacky flame pattern on it. Hey you, alien! Me, you ask, pointing to yourself nervously? No, the other alien. You swing your head around wildly, looking for the other alien. This plays out predictably for a while before you both get on the same page, which is that you are the alien whose attention it wants. You looking to make a little extra buck? No, not really. You never spent all that money you won with Azdaja. Okay, how about fame? Frankly, you are probably already too famous for your own good. Friendship? Oh shit, yeah! Sighing with relief, the troll leads you backstage whilst explaining that he is a promoter for this wrestling ring. One of the trolls that was supposed to perform tonight was eaten by some plant called a troll-devouring catchy grabber. Oh my goodness. As such, famed muscular theatrist Nihkee Moolah has been left with nobody to fight. You will be that nobody, or somebody. Oh god, we're gonna fight. We're gonna like do muscle theater with Nihkee Moolah. Oh my god. An alien will bring in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which of course means big bucks for him and friendship for you. Nihkee is so friendly, he says, in a tone so insincere about even your friendship-addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay, you've met worse. And there's Nihkee. He takes you into a back room, which seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn on stage. Oh my gosh, this troll right here is like a motorcycle helmet Nepeta, almost, in a way. Like, very similar to the Nepeta beanie that I'm wearing. He takes you into a back room which seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn on stage. There are all sorts of trolls here, muscular and sweat-soaked, blue-blooded more often than not. One troll in particular stands out to you, from her severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg to the fact that she's the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite. Oh my god, the fourth wall breaking. She's currently doing bicep curls with a set of spiked weights, huffing with exertion. When the promoter approaches, she looks up with a scowl. I'm busy. He begins to explain that he has brought a new challenger for her to face, but she cuts him off and stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn if she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any other troll you've met. Do you want to know what happened, sister, to people who disturb my preparations? Do you want to experience the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here? She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. The promoter tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up the act. There's no cameras back here. She gives him a stern look, which distinctly suggests that she has never dropped kayfabe in her life and has no intention of starting now. That is some serious method acting there. Make it quick. The promoter makes it quick. So let me get this straight. You expect me, to perform with this thing? She seems less than impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you don't really look like the wrestling type. Don't you dare insult me, sister. I'd rather you pulled a Rusty from the audience than subjected me to this humiliation. Oh, but you are more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, you have the heart and soul of a wrestler. You have much longer than about 5 minutes, you thoroughly assure her, waited for an opening such as this, to reveal your true passion to the world, to come alive on stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. For eons you have thirsted for the chance to sing the song of sinew, the hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Would that you could be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of the athlete, to perform alongside your hero, to show the world that you too love to do the muscly thing. Ah, that you might just... Okay, I get it. She glances over at the promoter and then back to you. It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being. But is it ready for a butt-clenching, flesh-abrading, knuckle-blistering, muscle-rippling smackdown from uptown? Let's save here. This is our first decision point of the night. Yo, Slam Bob, holy butts. Welcome in, friends. How you doing? Happy Saturday. I am glad to see you. Thank you, Sam, for the raid. Let me give you a shout out here. How you doing? You were last playing Super Metroid. Oh my gosh, I love Super Metroid. How is Super Metroid, buddy? How you doing? Welcome in, Raiders. Hi, I'm Brennan Mania. I am a variety streamer. I play games of the variety type. There's some more stuff in there about me. Welcome in. Pull up a chair, get cozy. We are currently playing Hiveswap Friendsim, which is like this weird ass friendship simulator that takes place in the Homestuck universe, and we're nearly at the end of it. We're getting close now. Metroid is awesome. Started it a long time ago and just picked it up again. Awesome. Super Metroid actually I think is really the only Metroid game I sat down and played for more than 5 minutes. So, yo, Doug, what's up? Yeah, this is some weird ass shit that I'm playing right now. Not my usual game. Ugh. Anyway, we're trying to make friends with this troll person who is like basically like The Rock or John Cena in the troll wrestling world. That's my succinct description of what's happening here. Anyway, are we ready for some smackdown from uptown? Let's go with actually, this is starting to sound a little much for you. You aren't sure you can match her enthusiasm for the craft. Who do you think you are, sister? You who has the globes to step to me. You come into my dressing room with those flimsy, stringy, insultingly puny arms of yours. look me in my eyes and challenge me to a match, beg for the chance to spar with me, and then cluck out like the pathetic alien whelp you are? Get out of my sight. Head bowed low, you retreat to the safety, comfort, and friendless expanse that is the audience. You can't even bear to look at Nihkee when she goes out and performs. You're so saddened by the loss of a potential chum. Well, that, and it's kind of grisly watching her pull low blood challengers from the audience and smash their faces into the spikes. She did call me a whelp. My goodness. Slam! Oh no. That is terrifying. Also, this is us in the background. We are, for some reason, this is how messed up this game is. For some reason, we are sad that this is not happening to us. we are devastated by this because we just want to make friends with everyone, no matter the personal bodily cost. Anyway, so that was one bad ending. This is probably the good ending where we keep all our ribs. Actually, yeah, maybe that was the good ending because we didn't have to be like shattered to pieces here. All right, so anyway, let's go back here and let's say, yes, we are ready for the smackdown from uptown. You nod your head confidently. Blister my knuckles and abrade my flesh, you say. Let's get this smackdown started. You've got guts at least. She turns to the promoter and gives him a curt nod. The match is on. Then she turns back to you. Now, sister, we need to discuss the show. I will make all the decisions. You will respond adequately to the storyline I present. It will be thus. The alien invader challenges me in an exhibition match to topple the matriarchy. The mightyarchy. Oh my gosh. The mightyarchy. That's a wonderful play on words. They fight valiantly and show an entertaining display of strength. But in the end, as is right and proper, the nobler hue of the hemospectrum prevails again. Arg. She starts flexing and showing off for an imaginary audience before turning back to you. Any questions, sister? Yes, actually, you do have a couple of questions. First, will you die? No! Unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe. Such is the risk we take, we who indulge in that most noble and dignified of sports. I was willing to give up my leg for the craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for a tale that will transcend us and be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Is it, sister? Well, it's rhetorical. Right. Secondly, when she says exhibition match, it is a muscular theater term, referring to a match staged for the entertainment that does not affect one's ranking on the flex ladder. We will not be sparring in the nude. Good. Wonderful to know. Such glorious displays of raw, chiseled physique are reserved for the intergalactic Trolympics. No, yeah, you got that. Mostly you were wondering if it meant the loser's head being exhibited on a pike or some other bloodthirsty nonsense. Do not denigrate this noble sport with claims of savagery. Thirdly, you're getting the sense that she's going to be playing the heel, yeah? The what? You explained that in your own cultural equivalent of muscular theater, performers generally fall into the category of face or heel, wherein the face is the rule-abiding and sympathetic figure the audience is meant to root for, whereas the heel takes on a more aggressive and unlikable personality. What part of my personality is unlikable? You dare suggest, sister, that the audience won't be roaring the thunderous applause in admiration as I conquer yet another pitiful foe? You tell her, you know what, she can be both the face and the heel, and you'll just be subjugated under my heel? Yes, exactly. Hey Moolah, chatting time's over, you're up. She jerks her head back at you and silently marches out of the room. You begin to follow, and the promoter directs you to your entrance on the other side of the arena. You wait nervously for your cue to enter. Well, folks, we've had some technical difficulties, but here comes the match you've all been waiting for. wearing the belt of champions and a leg of her own design as she's ready to gut the competition. A paragon of power, a lady of legwork, a true blue rough annihilator in the making. Clap those hands and activate your screech crevices. It's Nihkee Moolah! Nihkee approaches the cage to thunderous applause, raising her arms and soaking in all the praise. Yo, Bug, welcome in. Happy Saturday. Good to see ya. She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her. It's weird. Which shatter uselessly around her steely frame. This appears to be a common ritual for her. She steps through one of the cage doors and it slams shut behind her, locking tight. With her arms crossed and her teeth firmly gritted, she awaits you. As the announcer begins a new intro speech, you step forward. And in the other corner, frail in stature, weak in knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have some messed up low-blood alien. How has this absurd mockery of life not been called yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to their thrashing at the bloodthirsty hands and barbed foot of the Grand Nihkee. A decent portion of the crowd boos at you during your approach, which you find unsurprising. You have to dodge a hail of old boots and rotten fruit. Somebody throws an entire piano at you. Wow. That's impressive. I hope we dodged that piano. I hope we got out of it Steinway. Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring and hear the door close behind you. So, you've come here, alien, to prove your kind superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll species? Yeah, you shout, your kind is so superior to trolls. And you, their emissary. Does this creature look superior to you, my theater enthusiasts? She turns to the audience, throwing out a hand and gesture to you. They boo. Thanks, Copper. It was a weak attempt, but an attempt was made nonetheless. Is this sorry specimen the best its planet can offer? More boos. You countered that you came more than prepared to tackle the Mightyarchy? Yeah, that. So you claim to be prepared, but are you prepared to face these 24-inch slither noodles? She flexes so hard the announcer's sleeves explode. So be it. I'll crush you in a single blow. You're expecting a referee to start the match, but then it occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the distance, a bullhorn sounds, which is apparently the signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nihkee grabs the cage wall behind her and hoists herself up effortlessly, scaling it in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer is screaming something about this move being called the Sparky Nihkee. Once she finishes her ascension, Nihkee deftly leaps from the edge of the cage and spins down towards you. Her body twists and writhes in multiple blindingly fast flips before her robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you should probably move. You duck and roll forwards, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze your scalp. The announcer shouts, "First blood!" and you feel a light trickle down the back of your neck. Some members of the crowd are booing, presumably because they just noticed the color of your blood. Between the neon lighting and distance, they probably just think it's rust-colored and not a mutant red. So at least you have that going for you. What you don't have going for is the time to think about your next move, because Nihkee pivots on her heel and charges at you. This time, she's going for a more theatric throw. Two powerful hands grab you and lift you over her shoulder, where you nearly gore yourself on one of her horns in your struggle to escape. You plant two hands on her back and push hard, and you are delighted to find that her grip loosens and you go tumbling over her back, landing with a clumsy stagger on your feet. You're not sure if she let you get away with that one for the sake of the show, or if you just slipped out of her sweat-soaked palms, but you're going to charitably assume the former. She turns to face you, grunting and baring her fangs. She charges, rearing back a fist, and then sending it barreling toward your fragile human nose. You leap out of the way, only narrowly dodging it. All you've done is avoid me, coward. Where's your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Are you loath to face my true blue, muscle-bound beauty? You take this as your cue to attack, and instead, you run full tilt away from her. It isn't fear carrying you, you swear. Fool! Yo, how's it going, SoCal? Happy Saturday, welcome in. Been forever since you caught a Hiveswap Friendsim stream, yeah. Actually, we did see like a guest appearance by one of the trolls we really liked previously. The very tired drinking from a coffee mug troll who was like, society is screwed up and we should change it. She appeared. Now we're trying to make friends with a professional wrestling troll, or muscle theater as they call it here. And we ended up getting in a match with her, so there's no running or hiding from Nihkee Moolah. Stand and fight. She sprints towards you as you flee. The crowd is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing, at least of all you, but you think you can pull something cool out of this. Petition to call it muscle theater in real life. Perfect. Oh, are you lurking on GlitchCon, Copper? That's awesome. You leap at the cage wall, barely dodging the spikes that line it, and use the slight amount of give in the chain link wires to springboard you off. With an exuberant grin, you go flying toward her, arm held out for a classic clothesline maneuver, and then you collide with her own arm and whoop! When you wake up, you are lying on what appears to be an exercise map. You can feel a telltale throbbing sensation in your face that indicates a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, doesn't feel particularly hurt. Nearby, oh, you prefer abs anime? That's also kind of a great name for it, Twink. I love that. Especially like with the way that New Day dresses up sometimes, like sometimes it is literally anime with New Day. Nearby, you can hear the huff and puff of exertion. You glance over and spot Nihkee training on one of those leg press machines you always saw in gyms, but never had the courage to attempt to use. She's wearing an exercise outfit, which, despite its vastly different purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It has all the functions a fitness aficionado could want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artists don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. Again with the fourth wall breaking. Oh god. As soon as she notices you're awake, she turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout. You're finally awake, sister. Welcome to my hive. I have spent so much time, so much precious, valuable time, waiting for you to open your eyes. Oh god, how long have you been out? About 40 minutes. Phew, that's not so bad, is it? Perhaps, but only when compared to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out cold by your own attack? Wretched! I am an impossible foe to conquer, and yet even a Rusty has towed me longer in the realm of Mortal Kombat. There's Japanese professional wrestling and it's pretty anime. I imagine so. I know Japanese wrestling is... I've never really watched it very much, but I know it's certainly its own thing altogether. You are weak, sister! Offensively so! She slams her foot forward with such velocity, the weight on the leg press goes flying off and leaves a dent in the floor. Grunting as she stands, takes a long swig from a bottle, then approaches you with fire in her eyes. What do you have to say for yourself? You scuttle backwards, proffering only a sheepish smile. You're, sorry, you guess? Humph. I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You are not a worthless being. You have a flair for the theatrics, an appreciation of the sport, and a shining soul filled of only the most intractable determination. You could be so much more than you are, sister. This feels like a pep talk for all of us, I think. I could make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you and behold, the Brawnesium? The Brawnesium. Is that how it's pronounced? The Brawnyseum! I don't know. It feels like that wordplay could have been much more clever than it turned out to be. Anyway, you obediently cast said gaze around. This room is massive and littered with training equipment as far as the eye can see. Much of it resembles exercise machines like the ones you had in gyms back on Earth, but there is plenty more that looks far more alien and deadly. A treadmill which appears to throw the runner into a vat of acid if they fall off. A series of swinging axes that would look at home in a dungeon. 3 different varieties of Iron Maiden, each more horrific than the last. Maybe like Colosseum? A Brawnyseum? Maybe. I think I was thinking of like Museum at first. So, Brawnyseum. Okay, Brawnyseum. I needed a moment to like digest that pronunciation because I couldn't get it at first. This is presumably Nikkee's personal workout studio, but you could easily mistake it for a torture chamber. I wonder if Ardata has ever considered a job as a personal trainer. Maybe you should bring it up with her. There are some who may be worthy of my expertise. It is here that I can forge them, just as I forged myself, into beings of adamantine strength. The journey will be harsh. If you are made of weaker stuff than I believe, you will perish in agony. But if your core is strong and your will of iron, yours will be an unquenchable might. She extends a hand to you, her jaw set. Join me, sister, and together we shall ascend to tumescent heights of muscular perfection. There is a look in her eyes that you have never seen before, one of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it? Do we take her hand, or do we hesitate? Let's go with hesitate first. Hesitate. You begin to offer your hand, but under her steely gaze, your resolve wavers. This all seems like a lot. Too much even. You don't know if you're made of stuff tough enough for the training she seems to be offering. You would like to prove yourself, to become strong. You really would. But does she perhaps just maybe have any courses a little easier on soft and squishy creatures like yourself? The expression on her face grows terrifyingly blank. She's not scowling, or snarling, or sickened, or any other S-word. She's just looking at you, with the vaguest hint of disappointment dripping from her otherwise neutral expression. I see. You're like all the rest, aren't you? Unworthy to receive my gifts. Unwilling to reach your full potential. A pathetic, simpering thing, playing at dreams of muscular greatness it can never achieve because it doesn't have the will for it. You're an insult to my art. You spit on my passion. Get the fuck out of my face and do not ever dare to return. Shrinking under her steely gaze, you quickly flee her hive. Is this it for you? Is the screen going to fade to black, replaced by a goofy cartoonish end card, and some somber game over music composed by artistic genius James Roach? No! You refuse! Oh my god. Wow. That was another hell of a fourth wall break there. No, you refuse. You are not yet ready to call this friendship kaput. You'll show her and her draconian methods up, damn it. It's time to get ripped. You're going to do it your own way, and then return, and she will be so utterly impressed by your muscular growth that she will have no choice but to admit that you are friend material. Sadly, you do not know any other blue bloods characterized by an absurd love of muscles and bodybuilding. They're basically all total nerds, actually. But you can perhaps think of someone from a nearby hue who can help you. Oh my goodness. Her door swings open with gusto, and you are greeted by a familiar smiling face. Oh, what an unexpected surprise! You really should have called, or texted, or did literally anything else to alert me to the fact that you wanted to visit me on such short notice when my schedule is so terribly packed. But that's alright. I could squeeze in a meeting, I'm sure. Do come in, do come in. Oh my gosh, and Tyzes is here too. Tyzes is like suddenly all over the place. You step past the threshold of the door and into her office/living room. Tysius is sprawled out across the couch, lazily holding a book up to her face. It looks like she's studying, which is a relief to you, because you would have felt terrible if you had interrupted some intimate time between them. Unless studying is intimate for them, you kind of hope studying isn't intimate for anyone. The prospect terrifies. Would you like to join me and Zizi for oh my gosh. She refers to Tysius as Zizi. That is adorable. Would you like to join me and Zizi for some grub loaf? It's no imposition, I promise. You absolutely would. You didn't know Stelsa was a cook on top of everything else she does. Oh, no, I could never Oh, no, I could never. There simply isn't enough time. I'm just ordering from Door Smash. It's excellent stuff, really it is. Zizi has some very colorful words for the taste. It's pretty bitchin'. Yes, it is, certainly. It is certainly that. Pencil our good friend here in for a dinner date, can you, darling? They're literally right here already. We don't need to do that. Stelsa pauses and blinks as if processing a foreign concept. Right. Sometimes Stels forgets that you don't have to put everything on a schedule, which is fair. School feeding changes a troll. Stelsa pulls up a chair and gestures for you to sit down in front of her desk. All that said, while we wait for the meal to arrive, while we wait for the meal to arrive, let's get down to brass tacks. What brings you to my lovely abode tonight? Maybe they just want to see you. People don't always need a reason beyond that. You actually do have a reason, though. Shit. You explain to Stelsa that you have a friend, more accurately a friend-to-be, or perhaps acquaintance, or perhaps a person of chum-adjacent quality, who you would like to impress through the pursuit of personal fitness. You recall that Stelsa was jogging when you met her, so maybe she could help you put together a fitness routine, and you could do some workouts together. Her expression lights up, and she clasps her hands together. Oh goodness, I would absolutely love that. My poor Zizi is usually far too tired and far too busy. Sometimes I don't know how I manage it myself. So I'd absolutely love a partner to keep Train Sezyat running on time. Assuming, of course, you won't be late yourself and you can keep up with my pace. Fair warning, it's blistering. Isn't it though? Thanks, Sweetums. You confidently assert that, if nothing else, you can keep pace with her. Your legs have seen a lot of use. Walking, running, fleeing, prostrating yourself before clowns, you know, the usual. Excellent. We'll set up some meetings and then I'll add you to my schedule. My people will call your people, etc., etc. Thanks for visiting. It's been ever so lovely to see you. Toodaloo! She's halfway through shoving you out the door when you remind her that she invited you in for grub loaf. She hastily and apologetically pulls you back inside, ties you snickering in the background. This is really cute. Don't know what I'd do if I didn't have Stels. Someone has to be the energetic one in this quadrant. The contrast is certainly a stark one. As Tysius considered quaffing energy drinks here or there, perhaps that could help keep her pep up. 1, I'd probably literally die. 2, you don't want to see me on energy drinks. Nobody does. Fair. You spend a while longer chatting with Tysius before the delivery arrives, and the three of you have dinner together. The grub loaf is exactly as bitchin' as advertised. A wonderful meal with wonderful friends. The perfect precursor to the fitness montage yet to come. I was actually just wondering, are we gonna get buffed via fitness montage? Because that sounds fantastic. Friendsgiving! Oh my gosh. We are like less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, and Friendsgiving sounds wonderful. Especially because we're not actually planning on going anywhere. Because of things being the way they are right now. You visit Stelsa multiple days a week, fitting yourself into her incredibly convoluted and packed schedule. The feat doesn't actually prove very hard. You basically only exist to spend time with friends. Oh my god, what's the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff thing? That's... Oh my god. Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. It's time to get ripped! Oh my god. This is fabulous. That is exactly what's happening. I love it. You basically only exist to spend time with friends. Her equipment is delightfully free of torture devices. Besides her set machine, she also owns quite a bit of smaller exercise paraphernalia. Aerobics doodads and thingamajigs, yoga mats, jogging outfits. Even one of those huge bouncy exercise balls, which she bans you from using after you accidentally send it careening into a carefully organized stack of books. Stelsa carries herself forward with a peppy, always-on sense of gusto that can be difficult to keep up with. But her bright smile and encouraging attitude do wonders to keep you invested, to convince you that you really can acquire the swolehood you've dreamed of. By the end of the perigee, you are, well, you wouldn't exactly call yourself ripped, but your muscles are definitely toned in a way they previously were not. You feel hale and healthy, more energetic than ever, with a bit of extra pep in your step. Apparently, regular exercise makes you feel good? Wild. Who would have known? Wild indeed. Which reminds me, join me a couple days a week for my exercise streams, where I just sit on the exercise bike and pedal for like an hour and play Tetris Effect. It's nice and chill, and you're welcome to come in and zen out or be productive. Mondays and Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Check my schedule on my Twitch page. As you look at yourself in the reflection with an acid puddle, you realize... Oh, sorry. As you look at yourself in the reflection of an acid puddle, you flex and watch your muscles bulge. Fuck yeah, it's time. At least you hope it's time. You climb into your scuttle buggy and prepare to set the autopilot to Nikkee's place, but something stills your hand. Some strange sensation that has been slowly, surely settling in your stomach. A sense of unease, of dread. Your days of foolish ignorance are long past, and in their place a burgeoning understanding of the universe in which you exist, and the harsh laws by which it rules its inhabitants. You have, you are beginning to fear, made the wrong choice, with all the consequences such a lapse in judgment entails. Will you ever truly befriend Nihkee, or are you cursed to live, for who knows how long, in a world without her sweet smile to cure your insatiable addiction? Mayhap you need not wonder. Mayhap the time has come to look inside yourself and know. You are going to give your chakwas one real motherfucker of a blitzing. It's going to take mood music of the highest caliber. Having picked up some meditative tips from Boulder, you navigate your Scuttlebuggy's radio dial to an achromatic buzz station, which is currently playing some soothing ocean sounds. I like how the music just got quiet. The gentle lap of water meeting the shore, the rhythmic beat of the tide. Oh my gosh, is this slowly fading to black? As steady and sweet as a mother's heartbeat, it's interspersed with distant honks and weird animal chittering, sorry, can't read that apparently. Of course, because this is still fucking Alternia. What if the fourth wall was load-bearing? Oh my goodness. You lean back into your seat, reclining it as far as it can go, and sink into the cushiony softness. Something sharp is poking at your rib, but you try to ignore it. You close your eyes and allow the white noise to flood your senses, blocking everything else out. Oh yeah, you are really vibing this shit right now. Chakra status, blitz to high hell. You imagine causality as a river. What the hell is going on now? Every choice a branch. Tributaries upon tributaries, winding ever downward, pooling in lakes of inevitability. The pit in your stomach gnaws. It all ends here. Stagnant, bitter water, reeking of death. The ocean ever out of reach. Let me pull the music up a bit more. Oh wow, it went into the title theme. The title screen music. The ocean ever out of reach, your soul ever yearning for the single solitary estuary among all the ceaseless spillways. You take a deep breath. Water laps at your sides and tickles your ears. You are adrift, You feel the gentle bob as you float down the river. Hear the rush like a ticking clock. Gravity as time pulling you ever forward. Which river is this? To what end does it deliver you? Your breathing slows, then shudders. You feel the rapids approach. The rivers blur, then shift. Your heart rewinds, misses a beat. A surge of emotion, water streaking down the curve of your cheek. Your lungs ache. Which lungs? Which river? Which you? You try to focus, but the water beats at your brows, lashes your arms and legs, too tired to swim. You try for another deep breath, but nothing comes. With a tumultuous gasp, you sink beneath the surface to the churning darkness below. Here, amidst the battering onslaught, the images come. Whirls of emotion, of sound, of thought. Memories best forgotten, or never known. Lakes meant to remain uncharted. Oh my gosh, are we like reliving... Are we like re-seeing scenes from bad endings? Because this is a scene from a bad ending from Boulder. The crack of thunder, rain and tear fall. A single drop of olive. The record skips. Peace through rage, the whirl of the carousel. Horses whinny as the calliope sings. The circle takes you. Searching eyes implore you. The puppet strings stretch toward the moon. The flash of a blade, the spray of blood. Her strings are cut. Yo, how's it going, Borean? Welcome in. Happy Saturday. The crackle of energy, the world gone grayscale. Eyes deeper than the deepest pit. Shuddering final breath. You are lost. Lungs burning, water clogging every inch. You furrow your brow. Think. Think. Find your river. Coughing, wheezing, a final rattling gasp. Panic seizes you, a resounding crack, the stamp of hooves, the ricochet of gunfire, the death of one, of thousands. It's like the background is getting like more and more like overlapped and complex. Like there's like a bit of white text here that says fuck they're gonna kill everyone, which looks like it's kind of on top of the memories that are happening here. A low, sinister honk. Footfalls, loud and deep. The swing of a club. Blood on the pavement. Yeah, there's more and more stuff happening here now. Oh, I can see like I can see the Condes in the background too a little bit. Dark, acrid smoke. Indistinct voices and crackling intercom. A lurch beneath you, feet thrown out, neon energy crackling green. Not sure we were talking about Borean. It looks nothing looks weird on my end. Choking, desperate lungs aflame, you focus your will. Where are you? Which are you? Find your river. Piercing eyes, a stern, uncompromising gaze. The singe of acid, crushing spikes, the body worn to nothing, all for her approval. Okay, this seems like this is a scene from if we had chosen to like stick with Nihkee and done the working out with her, which I think suggests to me that was the bad path to take, because we've been seeing nothing but scenes from other bad paths too. The puff of exertion, gray muscles flex and spirits lighten. A gulp of water, the shine of a smile. Okay, this kind of throws that in the question though, because we've just seen this ending too. Like, I don't know. Whoa. Goes on forever. A looping tape, mirrors and mirrors, the mind like time, infinite. A looping tape, mirrors and mirrors, the mind like time, infinite. tributary splits and you, finally, drift down your chosen route. Freshwater visions as you float toward the surface. A carefree decision. Scuttling legs and the thrum of an engine. Cityscapes passing by. Stern anger. A fist tightly clenched. Shaking, barely restrained. Hope crushed under rigid foot. Nihkee saying, How dare you insult me by showing your face again? This is stuff we haven't seen yet. Cautiously looks into the Diet Coke I'm drinking. A plan poorly conceived. At times like these, you envy the Purple Bloods. Well, you envy them quite often, actually. They've got amazing strength, unbelievably beautiful rap gods, and honestly, Fago's starting to grow on you. Right now, you just wish you were a contortionist. These vents are way too tight. Desperation, madness, friendship at all costs. See, look at how strong you are. You can lift these weights with ease. You could lift something bigger. You would be happy to demonstrate if she could stop advancing on you with intent to full Nelson your sorry ass. Oh my god. Oh, good lord. Does the other half end up with her... Does the other path end up with her, like, losing her other leg? Good heavens. Navy blood pooling on the concrete. Troll and plan both collapsing. Cold hatred in her eyes. Good lord. Let me pause for a moment to say, like, if you have not been to these streams in a while, what's been gradually happening over the last few episodes is that the main character has been becoming more and more aware that there are multiple paths you can take throughout this game, and the game has like been strongly suggesting that like every path that we have taken, the character is aware of all the consequences, good and bad, and it seems like every ending that we've experienced is in fact canonical. So that, or we're just slowly descending into madness, who can say? Tense footfalls on the pavement, muscles strained to exhaustion, the sun rising over a desperate chase. Yeah, we've not seen these scenes yet. This is probably from the other path. All decisions are canon, all outcomes are real, all walls are missing. Yes. Escape. Sweet bliss soon to shatter. Blood and bone turn to steel. Whoops. No. Fruitless assistance. Your clothing, your soul, stained with blood. No more. No more. One more step. One more desperate step. One foot after another in the endless chase. Oh, this scene, I don't think we've seen this yet either. Your palm husk died ages ago, but you've been etching lines into the back to keep track of time. You're nearing the 1-year anniversary of, well, you're not sure what to call it. The day you irrevocably ruined your life? The day you fled into the untamed wilds? You would celebrate, but you doubt you'll have time. She can't be far. Drenched in fear, in sweat. Hidden, but not well enough. You try your best to stifle your ragged, fearful breathing, but you know it's fruitless. Nothing can hide the terrified pounding of your heart to her bionic ears, nor the heat of your blood to her infrared senses. She can find you here. Oh, what's going on? The curtains fall. One final heartbeat at the end of all things. Ba-bump. Ba-bump. Nihkee Borg's searing blue eye flashes in the darkness. Oh god, there is no more hiding. You close your eyes. You emerge from beneath the surface with a gasp, coughing up water and, oh, it's just you, sitting in your scuttle buggy, gentle white noise still playing on the radio. Well, that was wild. Oh my god. We still have one other path to do after this, too. You take a moment to catch your breath. your heart thumping against your ribcage like it wants to crawl out and beat you senseless for subjecting it to all that horse shit. Phew, okay, enough meditation for one day. You think you're just going to reach over and kinda set the autopilot to Stelsa's house instead of Nikkee's. Yeah. You have no idea if this will avert or merely delay some horrifying and grisly end or another, but it's better than the alternative. And besides, you really want some more of that bitchin' grub loaf. Hiss! Oh my gosh. And as it turns out, this is actually one of the bad endings. One of the endings where we don't end up making friends. So... oh my god. That was really wild and weird. Good heavens. Alright, well, let's go back to this decision to take her hand, and let's take her hand this time. Yeah, I kind of love that too, actually, So-Call. That was, like, really, really intensely interesting. You take her hand. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Whoa, living on a prayer. I had to do that, sorry. You take her hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. Oh, to see that deep sapphire blue fill with the glow of friendship. She squeezes your hand so tightly you feel your fingers fracturing. Excellent. I knew you had the spark. Now to make a flame, to grind and crush and pummel the flint until it bursts into the roaring blaze of strength. Today I shall begin by testing your limits. Come. She leads you to the treadmill and the deep, bubbling pit of acid directly behind it. You nervously step on. Also, I'm gonna pet my cat for a second here. Look at this cat, everyone. He is a good cat. Hold on. So I think if you had gone to her hand, she would have insulted you, then trained you, eventually losing her leg. Things spiral out of control until you're on the run, and a mostly robotic and cybernetically enhanced Nihkee is relentlessly chasing you down to murder you. And maybe that's how we become friends. Maybe there's like another decision point at some point here too. That's entirely possible. It happens once in a while. We're going to measure your speed and stamina. Run until you can run no longer. She starts up the machine. She gives you a nice, breezy jogging pace at first, but the treads quickly begin to whir away at a blindingly fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can to keep up, holding desperately onto the arms of the treadmill. Come on, sister, grit your teeth. Put some thrust sinew into it. Thrust sinew? Oh my goodness. If you're not evacuating your acid tract by the time you're done, you aren't trying hard enough. Sweat beads on your forehead as you push your legs to the limit, running like you're being chased by an angry drone. Your feet must be blurring like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog by now. The treads are moving ever faster, and you can almost feel yourself slipping. Got to hold. Ah! You lose your grip and go flying backwards, narrowly grasping onto the edge of the pit and dangling into it, your toes singed by the acid. Youch! You hoist yourself up over the edge and roll to the side, hissing. Nihkee stands over you, clucking her tongue. Top speed 12 miles per hour. That's good, right? For a bronze blood. Next test. She takes you from machine to machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are as terrible as Rusty's, your lungs are gold at best, your legs an unexpected cerulean, all while taunting you, encouraging you to push yourself further. The desiccated corpse of my ancestor could do better than this! You struggle to deadlift a giant barbell made of dead monster skulls. Are you going to inject dismay fluid all night long, or are you going to woman up? You go toe-to-toe with a punching bag that shoots sonic blasts at you whenever you hit it. Shape up or get ejected to the nearest solar execution barge. How much is 12 miles per hour in normal units? Actually, so 12 miles per hour would be what? A 5-minute mile? Yeah, that would be a 5-minute mile, which is really, really good. The pace, anyway. You sob as she forces you to do 30 minutes of freeform jazzercise. Oh god. Your jazz hands are terrible! Oh no. Jazz hands. By the time an hour is up, you are panting and huffing, desperate for a break. Nihkee finally relents. Oh, it's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. Lay back down. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, pal. Oh, what a big yawn. Alright. By the time an hour is up, you are panting and huffing, desperate for a break. Nihkee finally relents. Your reward for staying alive thus far. Stay hydrated, sister. Oh, we saw Stay Hydrated, sister, I think, in the other vision. She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles that gym buffs are always chugging from. You regard the mixture within curiously for a moment before throwing caution to the wind and gulping some down. When has imbibing alien substances ever hurt you before? But when the flavor hits your taste buds, you almost retch. Is this Gatorade mixed with milk? Nutritious and delicious. You keep chugging it. You need the liquids, foul though they may be. Alright, lactose break over. Let's continue. She next leads you over to one of those Iron Maidens. This one doesn't actually look spiked. It just has a blunt, bumpy surface on the inside. Get in. What? Get in, sister! You reluctantly step inside the Iron Maiden, and the doors clamp shut around you. This thing is far, far too tight for you, and the bumps are pressing into you from all sides, threatening to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push back against the walls, desperately trying to keep them from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to give out, the maiden opens. Pressure resistance about olive level. These results are, surprisingly, adequate. Your potential continues to shine. Good work. This halfway point seems to mark a change in her attitude as you continue to, just barely, persevere through everything she throws at you. Like a shake weight so powerful it leaves you shuddering intermittently through the next few exercises. Keep steady, sister. Don't lose heart on me now. A rowing machine that douses you with boiling water if you can't keep up the pace. Go, go, go! We'll make a fuchsia medalist of you yet. Shake weight. I'm dying, yes. Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster. Don't you dare allow this thing the satisfaction of feasting on your bones! After hours of this grueling work, you finally collapse. You think some of your bones are broken, your heartbeat is coming in quick and irregular pulses, and you can hardly breathe. Your vision blurs and shifts at the edges. God, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet. Get up! You glance weakly up at Nihkee, expecting her to be looking down at you with disdain, but instead you see her crouching down and offering you her hand, wearing a smile. You take her hand and she pulls you up to your feet. The look on her face now resembles pride, and when she claps a palm down on your shoulder, it only kind of hurts. You've done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you, and you soldiered on with head held high, even as your body broke beneath the weight. I have never seen such commitment. Such strength of heart and soul. Such dedication to the craft. Such appreciation for the most righteous of pursuits. You are no mere workout partner. You are a workout friend. The light blossoms inside you like the neighing of a horse. This feeling of power, of strength, of the bond between warriors. This is real and true, and this light will never, ever leave you. As you bask here in the satisfied and sweaty glow of a good workout, you realize that planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principalities, and cosmos come and go, but being swole as fuck is forever. We just made another friend. Victory! Bomb. Well, dang. That was surprisingly easy, actually. and not at all like the alternate reality that we saw in our vision when we were just like zenning the f out in the vehicle.